teachings of Rabbi Ephraim Sprecher, Dean of Students at Diaspora Yeshiva on Mount Zion, Jerusalem.
Parshat Shelach Lecha Anoshim. Send for yourself men to spy out the land. Is that plan A or plan B? To send spies. We decide whether we go with plan A or plan B. The Jewish people felt that God would conquer the land for them completely. They wouldn't need to send spies. So we decide whether we use plan A or plan B. Rashi says that what? This is plan B. God says it's a great land and we'll conquer it. And they said, no, they want to send spies. So plan B is also good. And sometimes plan B is the way it's supposed to be. Shelach Lecha Anoshim. Send for yourself men. The word Lecha seems to be superfluous. Send men to spy out the land. What's the word Lecha? Rabbi Bachai says the word Lecha means for your benefit. For your benefit. Moshe Rabbeinu was not able to enter the land of Israel. If they wouldn't have sent spies, the Jewish people would have crossed into Israel immediately. That means Moshe Rabbeinu would have lost 39 years of his life. By sending spies and sabotaging the mission, even though it was a disaster, but it extended Moshe Rabbeinu's life for 39 years, because he was not destined to go to Eretz Yisrael. So you see, every cloud has a silver lining. We get Moshe Rabbeinu for another 39 years. Here. Plan B. The Jewish people be stuck in the desert for another 39 years, but we get Moshe Rabbeinu to see his holy face, to shin on his face, and learn from him, which we would not have been able to. He would not have sent spies, would have crossed into Israel immediately. Moshe would have died. His life would have been curtailed for 39 years. So you see, every cloud has a silver lining. The Parshat mentions the names of the spies. One of them was Kalev ben Yefuneh. He was a good guy. Kalev comes from the word Kelev. Isn't that strange? This great rabbi, we have the name of Kalev. The Chachamim tell us that Kelev, Kuloi Lev. The dog is very loyal to his master. So this great tzaddik was called Kalev, Kuloi Lev, just like a dog's all heart. You gotta have heart. Belongs to his master. So this tzaddik, Kalev ben Yefuneh, taught that he is totally dedicated and loyal to his master, Kuloi Lev, as a Kelev is to its master. So Moshe sent them, Lotur et Eretz Canaan, Lotur, to take a tour of the land of Canaan. We know that the Parsha, beginning of the Parsha and the end of the Parsha, they always have to be connected. The beginning of the Parsha speaks about touring the land, the tour, and the end of the Parsha speaks about tzitzis. When you look at the tzitzis, you should not stray after your heart and your eyes. Rashi said the word tuturu, to stray, is from the same root as matura oretz, to tour the land. Rashi says the heart and the eyes are the meraglim for the body. The heart and the eyes of a person, they are the spies of the body. They are the ones who set him up for sin. The eye sees, the heart lusts, and the body does the Aveirah. To make sure that our spies, our organs, are dedicated to Hashem and not to be led astray as the spies were. The end of the parasha speaks about tzitzis. Tzitzis are blue and white. What's the blue? Kachol v'lavan. The white is when it's crystal clear what God is doing. You understand what he's doing. He's doing rachamim. But the blue is the mysterious blue sky. We don't understand why God is doing sometimes. Why he makes us suffer. Soloveitchik says the blue in this tzitzis We should see events more deeply, to look up and admire the blue sky, the immense, incredible, vast expanse of space leading to its source. Kodesh Baruch Hu, Livna Sapir, the blue sky. Why is the sky blue? God's throne, Kavayachal, is sapphire blue. So the blue and the white are tied together. Take the good and the better together. Tzitzis is a time-bound mitzvah. Women are exempt. Why are women exempt from time-bound mitzvot? We need time-bound mitzvot as props to help us bond with Hashem. Women don't need the props of tzitzis, talis, and tefillin, because women are naturally bounded to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you wrap yourself in the tzitzit, now the Meraglim were great people. It was Rosh B'nai Yisrael, it says. Each one was a chief rabbi, Rosh B'nai Yisrael. How could they make this terrible mistake? So the Sfas Emes says, explains, the spies said, here in the desert, we have the man, we have the Ananei HaKovod, we have the Be'er Shel Miriam. You come to Eretz Yisrael, that's all going to be gone. No more man, no more magic clouds, no more magic well of Miriam. So better to stay in the desert, not to lose these spiritual gifts and treasures. Perhaps it's better to stay in the desert then. So the Sfas Emes says they don't realize when God takes away a gift, He replaces it with something better. And therefore, after the sin of the spies, the Torah mentions 3 mitzvot. What are the 3 mitzvot the Torah mentions after the spies? Nisuch hayayin, spilling wine on the Mizbeach, the Korban. The mitzvah to separate challah, 2. And number 3, the mitzvah of tzitzis. Why do these 3 mitzvahs follow the sin of the spies? But the answer is that this is God's reply. The spies said, well, we're going to lose the precious spiritual gifts if we leave the midbar. Better to stay in the midbar. We're going to lose the man. But right after the sin of the spies, what does the Torah say? Which mitzvahs do we have to perform? Which mitzvah? First of all, it's the mitzvah of Nisuch hayayin on the Mizbeach. They didn't do Nisuch hayayin in the midbar, only in Eretz Yisrael. So that's going to replace the Be'er Shel Miriam. The mitzvah of Nisuch hayayin, that replaces the Be'er Shel Miriam. The kedusha that they have for the Be'er Shel Miriam is replaced by the Nisuch hayayin on the Mizbeach. Be'er Shel Miriam. The mitzvah of Nisuch hayayin, all of the shtiyah and Eretz Yisrael becomes what? Sanctified. Then the Meraglim said, we're going to miss out on man. Eretz Yisrael, there's no man. So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, wait a minute, there's no man, but I'll give you something better than man. Challah. When you separate challah from the dough in Eretz Yisrael, every bagel is a holy bagel. Better than man. Because the man is a freebie. Challah we do, by separating the dough, the mitzvah of challah, we infuse kedusha in all of the foods of Eretz Yisrael. We and God partner together and making a holy bagel really holy. So that mitzvah is instead of the man. Then the Jews said, the Ananei HaKavod. Here in the mitzvah we have the Ananei HaKavod. You come to Eretz Yisrael, no more Ananei HaKavod. God says, I'll give you something better than the Ananei HaKavod. What's better? The mitzvah of tzitzis. The mitzvah of tzitzis. When you wrap yourself in the tzitzis, you're being hugged by the one above even tighter than the Ananei HaKavod. Even better, because we do it together with God. So therefore, the Meraglim didn't realize when God takes away a gift, He replaces it with something better. So instead of the Be'er Shel Miriam, they got the mitzvah Nisa Chayayin. Instead of the Mon, they got the mitzvah Chala. Instead of the Anani HaKavod, they didn't lose. They got something better. They got the mitzvah of tzitzis. The mitzvah of tzitzis. You ever wonder why so few religious Jews make Aliyah compared to the world population? Al ta'alu ke'ed Hashem b'kirbechem. After the disaster of the spies, the Jews attempt to go force their way into Eretz Yisrael. And God says, Al ta'alu ke'ein Hashem b'kirbechem. Don't make Aliyah, because God is not in your midst. If you don't feel God in your kishkis, you don't belong in Eretz Yisrael. There's a lot of challenges over here. If you don't feel God in your kirbechem, al ta'alu. So God said, you guys don't have what it takes. Your children will have, but you do not. So in the Midbar, the Jews had the Anani HaKavod. They had Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam, the best koilel in the world, top Rabbeim, who's a bigger Rosh Yeshiva than Aaron or Moshe Rabbeinu, the Rebbitz and Miriam. And yet, the Dordea, they saw God speaking to them face to face from the midst of the fire. Yet Tehillim 76 says, Leichal b'hevel yemeim. He ended their days in Hevel. What? And Tehillim says, Dor Sore More. The Dordea. You call it Dor Sore More? And despite the Anani HaKavod and the Man, and the Be'er Shel Miriam, and Moshe and Aaron teaching them Torah, what could be better? Psalm 76 says God ended their days in Hevel. What does Hevel mean? Nothingness? Emptiness? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Those 40 years in the Midbar. The best of times, but also the worst of times. So God decrees that the entire generation has to die in the Midbar. The Chazal say only the men died. The women did not die. But they didn't sin with the Chet HaMeraglim. Two worst sins the Jewish people ever committed. The Chet HaEgel and the Chet HaMeraglim, women were not involved in either sin. That means 600,000 widows crossed into Eretz Yisrael. Pretty incredible. 007. Where did that come from? James Bond? Who was the first double agent? Kole ben Yefuneh. Rashi says Kole ben Yefuneh was a double agent. He told the Meraglim, I'm with you. I'm with you. But in his heart, he was going to remain loyal to Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore, he's able to get an angle on them. Kole ben Yefuneh was the first double agent, original 007. He told the Meraglim, I'm with you, but he really remained loyal to Moshe Rabbeinu in order to be able to what? Feed back information and find out what they're plotting. Where do you learn out you need a minion from? From the 10 wicked Meraglim. It says Ada Meraglim. From here, Rashi said, from here you learn out that an Ada is 10. Isn't that incredible? To learn you need a minion, why don't you go to 10 tzaddikim? Why do you go to 10 evil people? Moral says to teach that even if they're 10 Jews wicked, if they're together, the Shekhinah is there. You have 9 Moshe Rabbeinus in a room, or 9 Vilna Gaons in a room. Can you say Kaddish? No. You have 10 Jews in a room, even wicked Jews, like the Meraglim, you can't say Kaddish. The Shekhinah is there. So therefore, the source for learning out that you need 10 for a minion is Dafka 10 Rishayim that even if they're Rishayim, if they're 10 together, the Shin is still there. Even 10 Jews that are not Kol Beseder. 10 Reform Jews make a minyan, but 9 Shas guys, no minyan. So we have to daven with a minyan, Rabbeinu B'chai, because we followed the Meraglim. We listen to the 10 Meraglim slander. So therefore, we need a minyan. Meraglim Mechal Hashem Shemayim. Therefore, we need a minyan to what? To attack in the Chetz of the Meraglim. They diminished Kavod Hashem by slander, so the tikkun is Yehei Shmer Avah. But since women did not sin with the spies, so they don't need the tikkun of a minyan to daven. We do, 10 for 10. But since women never sinned with the spies, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They don't need the tikkun of a minyan, which we do. Therefore, women do not have to daven with a minyan. So the Nitz of Tzitzis again, we said, do not stray after your eyes. Do not follow the advice of the wicked Meraglim. Stay loyal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oil lechem letzitzis, or eat them oto, it says. If you wear tzitzis or eat them oto, you will see him in the afterlife. Says the Talmud Yishalmi, Brachot, Menachos Mem Gimel. You wear tzitzis in this world, you're guaranteed to see him. Capital H in Olam Haba. When you wrap yourself in your talit, you're being hugged by the one above. Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, spy out the land and bring back from the fruits of the land. So it says they went up to the Negev and he came to Hebron. Rashi said it should have said they came to Hebron. There were 12 of them. Rashi said Kalev alone broke away from the rest of the Meraglim and he went to Hebron to daven in the Morat HaMachpelah. This is the source for davening at the grave of a tzaddik. Kalev ben Yefunah went to daven at the graves of the patriarchs in Hebron that he should not get tremendous pressure to join the spies, that he should not fall in with their wicked counsel. Therefore, it says he went to Hebron, he went to daven, the caves of the tzaddikim, Morat HaMachpelah, should not fall in with them. Tremendous pressure to fall in with the Meraglim. Remember, there are 10 Rosh Hashivas, Rosh B'nai Yisrael. And because he didn't join the Meraglim, he went to Hebron to daven. Therefore, the book of Shoftim says that he got the city of Hebron as what? As a reward. Given to Kalev ben Yefunah. Shoftim 1 tells us that. So they spied out the land 40 days. 40 days. Hashem says you went on a 40-day mission. Yom Lashana, Yom Lashana. You will carry your burden, you will bear your guilt 40 days. 40 years. 40 years. Yom Lashana, Yom Lashana. You will bear your guilt. Mida keneged mida. Mida keneged mida. So, the message is that even though you have a the best koilel in Chutz La'aretz, the top Rosh Yeshivas, the better koilel than Moshe and Aaron's koilel in the Midbar. Doesn't compare to live in the Holy Land. Meraglim, they had noble intentions. But they say the road to hell is filled with noble intentions. We have to come and live in Eretz Yisrael. Meraglim said you can be loyal Jews even in Chutz La'aretz. But they were dead wrong. So even though for Moshe Rabbeinu was good, it extended Moshe's life to 39 years. Best of times, but also the worst of times. Got to see Moshe Rabbeinu another 39 years, the skin on his face. Yet we missed out living in Eretz Yisrael for 39 years. And therefore, Psalm 76 says, God ended their days in Hevel, in nothingness. Hello, yes, the Parsha begins, Shelach Lecha Anashim. It was your idea to send men. Incredible, Klei Yakar. There's something incredible. He says, it was your idea to send men. They sabotaged the mission. If you would have asked me, God said, I would have told you to send women. Women love the land of Israel. Unlike the men who slandered the land, women praised and longed for the land of Israel. So Shelach Lecha Anashim. It was your idea to send men. Says Klei Yakar. But God said, you should have asked me, I would have told you to send women who love the land. The women would have come back with a good report. And Jewish history would have taken a completely different turn. No Tisha B'Av, no Chorban, no Holocaust. But again, Moshe Rabbeinu's life would have been shortened for 39 years because he was not destined to come to Israel. So again, you see that? Moshe's idea was to send men, Lecha. Your idea, for you, it's a benefit. You get a 39 extension on your contract. But if you would have sent Noshim, who loved the land, says Klei Yakar, God tells him, would have come back with a good report. Eretz Yisrael, here I come. Moshe dies immediately. But the Jews come to Israel. And no Chorban Bet HaMikdash, no Holocaust, no Galut. So again, best of times and the worst of times. You, Moshe, it's good you sent men who sabotaged the mission, and you lived longer, because you're not supposed to come to Israel. But for the Jewish people, we saved a terrible Chil Hashem. Send the women. The women loved the land much more than the men. Imagine that. Klei Yakar says, God said you should have sent Matahari, lady spy, I spy. And Jewish history would have taken a completely different turn. So you cannot second guess. Moshe chose to send men. For him, it was good, because he lived another 39 years. But for Jewish history, things would have been completely different. So you got to take the good with the better. Appreciate the good times and the hard times. And L'Tur at Eretz Canaan. To be a tourist. Let me be a tourist. L'Tur, the English word tourist. Well, first, explain, when you come to Israel, you should have the excitement of a tourist. Remember the first time you saw the Kotel? I'm so excited. But after a while, it wears off. The key is for Eretz Yisrael, L'Tur. Person, no matter how many years he lives here, you should have the enthusiasm and the excitement of being a tourist. People come to Eretz Yisrael and see only the bad, like the Meraglim. Others see the good. Some go to the Kotel and see just the wall. Others feel God. It depends what you want to experience. The Meraglim are looking for the negative. But there's so much good and positive here. In Eretz Yisrael, you're supposed to accent the positive and not focus on the negative. Why focus on the negative? The Meraglim are not lying, and Kalev and Yeshua are not lying. Each one focused on what they wanted to focus. The Meraglim focused on the negative. Shua Benun, they focused on the positive. What do you want to see in life? The message is in Eretz Yisrael, you should only accent the positive and not focus on the negative. To be a tourist here, have that excitement, enthusiasm, no matter how many years you live in the land of Israel. So, we learn davening at the grave of a tzaddik from Kol Ben Yefuneh. He went to Hebron himself, and therefore he was Zoicher. The book of Judges says that he got the city of Hebron as an inheritance. The ancient city of Hebron. Why is it called Hebron? The Zohar says the word Hebron is from the word Chaver. Chaver means friend, it means to connect. Hebron is the place where heaven and earth connect. Yerushalayim is one entrance to heaven, and Hebron is another entrance. The word Chaver, to connect. Where the heavenly and the earthly meet. Temple Mount is one place, Hebron is another place, where when a person dies, his neshama goes either through Temple Mount to heaven or to Hebron. Heaven and earth join up. So they came back from Matura Oretz. So Kalev was the good guy. Said he was called Kalev Kulalev. Another reason why he was called Kalev. The Meraglim superficially saw a lot of problems here. There are problems here. But you look at a dog is always digging. He looks behind, underneath. So Kol Ben Yefuneh said, yes, it looks like a challenge. But what's problem is really a challenge. Let's look deeper. Let's dig deeper. And be like Kalev, Kuloi Lev, and not look at things superficially, as the Meraglim did. That's the message of the Meraglim. Thank you.
For more of Rabbi Sprecher's teachings, visit rabbisprecher.com.